What's up and welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Eddie and I am still addicted to Marvel Snap, and normally I like to make videos talking about variants from the game. So we look at the variants of all the characters and we rank them or look at upcoming ones, but I wanted to do something a bit different today. I actually looked at the schedule for all the upcoming new cards that are going to be joining Series 5 in Marvel Snap. As you guys probably know by now, they release one new card every Monday night, Tuesday night, depending on which day, like time zones you're in, but they release one new card every week into the game. Now, if you guys are not aware, the most recent patch for Marvel Snap, they actually changed the token acquisition. So with this new acquisition rate, you guys are actually going to be getting enough tokens on a monthly basis to get one or maybe two, and if you spend money, probably a third card per month. If I understand the new acquisition system, if you are a free-to-play player completely, you're going to end up getting enough tokens to get one Series 5 card a month, so about 6,000 tokens per month with this new system. If you are a season pass holder, you're going to end up getting one card and the season pass cards. You get two of the 4 or 5 new cards that come out each month. And if you end up spending money on the game, depending on how much you are willing to spend on Token Tuesdays or bundles or anything like that, you could end up getting 3 cards a month, more or less. I'm not here necessarily to tell you guys which one you should get, because that's not my position, that's not my role. It's up to you guys to pick what cards you do like and which one you should purchase for yourself. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at the schedule, we're going to talk about each characters, I'm going to tell you what I like or dislike about whichever characters we have here and their schedule, and also just give you an idea of the cards that are coming up, so that way if you have the tokens and you don't know where to spend them, you're going to be able to look at all the upcoming cards and then pick for yourself which ones you want to save your tokens for and spend them on. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Right over here, I'm going to show you guys the 2 websites I'm using. The first one is Marvel Snap Zone. So on Marvel Snap Zone, they actually have right over here the new card schedule. So as you guys can see, in March we got Nimrod, Master Mold, and the most recent one was Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And then starting this Monday, if you guys are watching this at the time of recording, our next card is going to be Kitty Pryde, and then we've got the schedule here for all the other upcoming cards that are coming out. So we're going to look at each one of these one by one, and we're just going to talk about what we like or dislike about each one and what I personally think they're going to do for the meta or anything like that. And then you guys can comment down below which card you want to get each month, which ones are you excited for, which one do you feel like you should skip out on. Obviously, the Series 5 token card acquisition, there's a lot of discussion about that, about what cards should be Series 5, which one should be Series 4 or Series 3 even. I understand the idea that the developers are trying to do, where the goal of the game is to collect cards, right? So if you own every single card, what are you playing towards? What are you trying to do, right? So I understand certain people would wish to have every single card instantly so you can play with everything right from the get-go. I'm okay with it not being that way, because it does give me a reason personally to look like I have the carrot at the end of the stick that I'm trying to always go for, which is the next card. But that's me personally, so I understand that you guys might not necessarily agree with that, but I'm okay with the system right now of new card joining. With the new token acquisition, I think it's too early to complain about cards having to drop right to Series 4 or anything like that. Depending on how this new system works out, now we're actually going to get excited about being able to get a card or 2 a month, which is really good, and then we'll go from there. So let's jump right into it. The first card we're going to talk about is Kitty Pryde right over here. This is the Snap.fan website. So the first website I showed you guys was Marvel Snap Zone, and then Snap.fan. I just prefer the layout of the card presentation on this website, but they're both great websites. I can't complain. So you guys should definitely check out marvelsnapzone.com and Snap.fan. As you can see, sorry. I'm rambling on, but before I forget, all the cards here, their statistics and their description of the card can change by the time the card actually releases in the game. So please take note that I'm just going based on what we have here, but they could have changed certain things by the time the card officially releases, because this is unreleased and some of them are data mined. We haven't even had a confirmation from the developers that that's what the card is going to be like. So Kitty Pryde is a 1 energy, 0 cost card. You can return this to your hand to gain +2. So she is going to probably fit really well in bounce decks. So if you guys don't know what a bounce deck is, the idea is to play cards and then use like a beast or a falcon to pull them back up into your hand and continue playing them. Please note, because they've confirmed this, that Kitty Pryde only gets her +2 power if you use her to pull her back into your hand yourself. So Beast and Falcon will not actually give her the buff. It has to be that you're pulling her back yourself using the card. So if you use Beast on her, the positive is that Beast will drop her cost to 0, which means that then Kitty Pryde can be played every single turn and get the buff. But when the turn that you do play Beast, she will not get that buff on that turn. So you have to keep note of that when you're playing her. I am very excited. I've been saving up my tokens because I actually want to get her myself. I have no intentions of using her in a bounce deck because I'm not comfortable with a bounce deck. I actually want to use her with Lockjaw. That's where I want to be. I feel like she's going to be a good card that, like, you play cards into Lockjaw, and if by accident you end up pulling a Kitty Pryde out, you could just bring her back into your hand and free up that space to continue using the Lockjaw. I don't know if that ever happens with you guys, but anytime I use Lockjaw, I'll send cards in, and like sometimes a card comes back out. I was like, damn, that's not the card I wished was the one that came back out. I wish it was like a cheap card to get a strong card out. So having Kitty as a backup seems like a really fun one to have there. I want to put her with my Thanos deck. I think that Thanos, generally speaking, the way I have my deck, I do have a lot of turns where I have like energy that I don't spend, so being able to just use it to get Kitty Pryde back and forth also sounds like a lot of fun. And I also like the idea of having her played, and I'm guessing when she comes out, we don't really know, but I'm going to guess that you can actually move her, like pull her out from the left location, play her in the middle one, and then pull her back right and back and forth. So I think it's going to be fun as a mind game to be like, where is she going to go next? Your opponent doesn't actually know what's happening with Kitty Pryde. I think this is going to be a really fun card, so I really am excited about this one. This is the first one that's coming out by the time you watch this in a couple days. Next up, we got Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey is a 2 energy, 0 power card. On reveal, he gains +2 power for each other card you played this turn. From what we know, this card is going to be the April Season Pass card. So when the Season Pass comes out in April, you are also going to be getting Hitmonkey with it if you pay the Season Pass. If not, you'll get him in a couple months as well. This card actually sounds like a lot of fun in my opinion as well. I feel like this is again going to add to the bounce deck. I think that's probably going to be probably where he fits the most. Bounce decks or Saraducks as well, playing him on the final turn with a bunch of other cards to get that buff. I can also see him being played with like a zoo deck, right? Like if you are holding on to a lot of cards at the end, like I'm thinking like a Dracula zoo deck where you play Dracula on turn 4, you play a couple card, like another strong card on turn 5, and then turn 6, you play Hitmonkey and a bunch of 1-cost cards, get that little buff, right? Like if you have Hitmonkey and 4 1-cost cards, and you already have Khazar on the board or something, I can see a lot of combos like that where Hitmonkey becomes a 2/8 very quickly, and it's a surprise at the end too. Another really fun card here. I don't think he's going to break the meta. I don't think he's going to be overpowered. I think it's a perfect fit for him in the Season Pass. Similarly to like MODOK. I feel like Nimrod's a bit on the weaker end for me. I haven't used MODOK as much, but sorry, Nimrod. MODOK is a perfect Season Pass card, and I think Hitmonkey's going to be in that range as well. So let me know, obviously, what you guys think of him too. Next up, the first actual release for April that we know of is Jeff the Baby Landshark. Let's just say it doesn't matter what his energy, his cost, and his ability is. Who cares? We're all going to get Jeff. We're all going to spend our points on our tokens on him because it's Jeff. Who cares, right? Like, if all over on our Twitch, my whole community has always already said, we're getting Jeff. It doesn't matter what he does. They can change anything. They can make him absolutely useless, and we're also going to get him, and we're all going to play him because we want to split him up. And look at how cute his variants are. Look at that. They're all fantastic. I love this card. Jeff is a 2 energy, 3 power card. You can move this once. Nothing can stop you from moving or playing this card to any location. Now, I did say it didn't matter what he did. We're all going to get him anyways. But I will, on top of that, he's actually pretty good. You can play him into a Professor X. You can move him in or out of Professor X, Sanctum Sanctorium, all of those like bad locations that kind of ruin the game for you. Jeff is there to just go and say, who cares? I'm going in anyways. And I think that is fantastic. It is a very unique ability. I think Jeff is going to fit really well into a lot of decks without necessarily having to build a deck around him. He's just going to fit in perfectly. And I feel like, I didn't talk about this at the start, but just with Kitty Pryde, Hitmonkey, and Jeff so far, and the next card we're going to talk about, I'm actually very excited that we're getting a lot of new cheap cards basically, because I feel like a lot of the big cards recently, like Thanos, Galactus, Kang the Conqueror, Nimrod, MODOK, all of these guys were big bads or big cards like 5 energy or 6 cost energy. I'm liking the idea that we're getting a couple more of the cheaper end cards to vary it up, because I don't know about you guys, kind of sick of seeing Sunspot everywhere. Sunspot is the only 1 cost card. I think that Pryde is going to probably join Sunspot as being one of those cards that you're going to see a lot, and the next one might join that too. So Jeff, great card. I'm very excited about him. The next one after that is Snowguard. This is all still April. Snowguard is a 1 energy, 2 power card. While in your hand, it transforms each turn into either a hawk or a bear. So we got over here, I can show you guys. There's the bear, there's the hawk. So what it is, if when you have this card in your deck, every turn it's going to rotate between the hawk or the bear until you decide to play whichever one of those two you want to play. The bear on reveal is going to trigger the effect of the location. So that means that whichever location's on the board, you can trigger that effect a second time. The hawk does the opposite, which is it ignores all the location abilities next turn. So very exciting. This is going to help you control the locations that are in the play without necessarily changing them, just either skipping them or activating them again. There's a lot of really different unique combos you can do with this. I think that Snowguard is going to be very popular during every hot or featured location, because he's going to either, if you love the location or hate it, Snowguard is going to be there to help you control that. And I just think as a general thing, it's a very unique ability, because I will personally say that I have won a lot of games and lost a lot of games because of specific locations. Snowguard definitely feels like another 1 energy card that I feel like can fit into a lot of decks to help vary it up. Again, like you said, how many times have you guys been hit by the Iceman Scorpion combo, right? How annoying is that? Or you see Korg and Sunspot. There's a lot of those 1 cost cards that are very common and show up all the time. Misty Knight is just Patriot deck, you know what I mean? I'm excited about the fact that we're getting these newer, cheaper cards that are just going to mix it up and vary it up and get a bit more variety into every deck, I think, because Snowguard is not going to fit into only one meta. I think she's going to fit into a lot of things, same as Pryde. So that's, once again, very exciting right there. Next up, we got Stegron. Stegron is a 4 energy, 5 power card. On reveal, move an enemy card from here to another location. So it's like Juggernaut, but you're not necessarily having to worry about hitting Juggernaut on the play. You could play him later and then just move a card away. I'm curious to know if it's going to move it for you. Like if it's like he reveals and it just shuffles a card somewhere else, or if you actually get to move the card yourself from where you, like from that location, and you choose where you go. Now, if we get to choose where they go, I think Stegron's going to be very powerful, and you're going to see a lot of people use him as a variation of Arrow, but on the flip side. Or if it's just a move to a random location like Juggernaut or anything like that, I think that that's going to be a perfect... I'm really hoping that's the case, because then it's like he's not too strong, but it is a strong enough character that he fits really well into the 4-5 ability there. I'm very curious about this one. I'm a little bit nervous because I know a lot of people get worried about like Arrow's abilities and everything, but I want to just use Kingpin more, right? So giving me someone like Stegron lets me potentially play Kingpin somewhere else, Stegron there, and then shuffle a card over and let Kingpin destroy. I love playing Kingpin, and I just want more opportunities to do that. So this is another really fun one in my opinion. Now we're going into May. So Nebula is actually the season pass, potentially season pass card for the month of May. On here, this is where, again, we're not too sure. The card here shows a 1-1, but on the poster, it showed a 4-6. So we're not too sure yet where she is. I'm hoping it's a 1-1, but it could be a 4-6. And again, her ability could be completely different. So I don't really know what to say about this one, but we're going to go through it anyways and see what we think. She's a 1 energy, 1 power. Each turn your opponent doesn't play a card here, she gets +2 power except the turn you play this. This is really good because you're putting pressure on your opponent to fill up a location as quickly as possible so that the Nebula doesn't get too strong. I really like that idea because it, again, changes up the meta and gives you a really unique ability. If this is a 4 energy card, I'm not sure I like the idea of it being a 4 energy, 6 power, and then the +2, because it's only turn 5 and 6, so you only get 2 turns where you're putting pressure into one location. I like the idea of it being a 1-1, But again, she could end up being completely different as a 4/6 as well. So very curious what you guys think of this ability, because once again, if this is a 1/1 with this ability, that's just another cheap card that just joins a lot of other metas, and that's going to be very exciting to vary it up once again. I also really like her art style, by the way. After that, we've got Iron Lad. By the way, let me just confirm with you guys where we're at here. So we just looked at all of April. Nebula is May 2nd, which is going to be the new season. And Iron Lad is May 9th. So we've got 3 more after that. So let's go back to Iron Lad over here. Iron Lad is a 4/6. On reveal, he copies the text of your deck's top card. That is very exciting because that means you can actually get a double of a certain card from your deck. I think Iron Lad alone is not the best because, once again, you don't know what's at the top of your deck, and that's just taking a big risk unless you put Iron Lad with a full deck of cards that you know what's in your deck. Or sorry, what am I trying to say? That you know what's at the top of the deck, or you can control what's in there. Another cool thing is maybe if you play him on the final turn and you know that you have 2 or 3 cards left in your deck and you want to take a risk because you didn't draw your Iron Man, right? Let's say, and you really needed Iron Man for the win. Iron Lad can come out and just copy it and hope that one of your 3 poles that are on the top was your Iron Man and takes the ability. I think this is going to be a really fun card. Again, don't think he's going to be defining, like meta defining or anything like that. I just think it's a perfect, exciting new card to have fun with. Next up is Howard the Duck, everybody. Howard the Duck is a 1 energy, 2 power card. Ongoing, tap this card to see the top card of your deck. So while he's on play, you could just tap on him and you can always see what's the next card on top of your deck. Once again, very exciting because you can combine him with Iron Lad, and I think that's a perfect combo right there. So that is very exciting. Another 1 energy card that I'm very excited for him to join the deck, that I think that just generally speaking, this ability helps every deck, right? Like, because you always know, I have these cards in my hand, and now I can just check and see what's coming up next, so I can plan ahead for my next turn. Fantastic. I love this card. Also, same as Jeff, it doesn't matter what Howard does. Everyone wants Howard. Also, look at these variants. Amazing, right? So cool. Very excited to have another 1 energy card that's going to just add excitement to the game. Now, we've got 2 cards left to talk about, and these 2, we're gonna talk a lot about these guys. First one is High Evolutionary. 4/7. At the start of the game, unlock the secret ability of all your cards with no ability. So, remember how I just said about every other card? Not genre defining, not meta defining. He is going to be his own deck. I'm guessing they're going to call them the Evolved decks. The same we have like Patriot deck, Thanos deck, Shuri deck. We're going to have Evolved decks. So High Evolutionary is a card that you're going to want to put with all of these fantastic cards here, like Wasp, Misty Knight, Shocker, Cyclops, The Thing, Abomination, and the Hulk, who all normally don't have abilities, and now they all get their own unique abilities because of the High Evolutionary. High Evolutionary as a character is going to be the villain of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie, so that's why he's in the month of May, and now they're just adding these abilities. That is amazing because it gives 2 things. It gives you another reason to play all these cards outside of Patriot. So now we have 2 options for all these cards instead of just 1 option. Very exciting. It also opens up the ability and potential for future cards releasing with no abilities at all. And I think that that's exciting because obviously before this, anytime they were to announce a new card with no ability, I think everyone would say not worth Series 5, right? I think we could all agree that if a card came out like a Wasp as a Series 5, everyone would be like, what the hell? It's just another card for Patriot. Kind of useless. Now, if High Evolutionary and Patriot, we have 2 different style of decks that can use a card. Now I do think that we could have potential for other cards coming out with no abilities because we have 2 options for them instead of just the 1. And I think that it just shows that maybe they have more ideas in the future on what to do with these no ability cards as well, because this came out of nowhere, and I think that most people can agree that High Evolutionary, no one would have seen this coming. The idea of unlocking new abilities for cards is so creative, so cool, and I think that this shows the potential for Marvel Snap in general as a whole, that they have a lot of ideas that we don't know about, and this gets me very excited about the game itself. I don't want to read every single one of these because it's going to take a while, but just to give you an idea, like Wasp, her on, she gets an on reveal that she afflicts 2 random enemy cards with -1 power. Very cool. And like if I go down to Hulk, his ongoing is he gets +2 power for each turn you ended with an unspent energy. So you could build a deck with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 7 cards here, plus Evolutionary, that's 8. And then you add in 4 more cards that actually help with this. Like, I don't know, I was thinking Spectrum, but Spectrum only would help ongoing, which is just Hulk, so maybe not Spectrum. But like an Odin can reactivate a couple of the on reveals over here, which is really cool. There's probably other ideas that I'm forgetting about, but this is going to be super, super, super exciting. I think this is the first one in a while that from all we saw, that this is probably going to be a must-have Series 5 card. And I'm going to guess, not because of the character, I don't think High Evolutionary is that big of a big bad, but I think because of the ability, I wouldn't be shocked if he is another of the big bad that stay Series 5 for a little bit longer than everyone else, just because of how unique his ability is, not necessarily because he is a big bad. But I don't really know much about the lore. If you guys have information on lore of High Evolutionary, comment below and let me know what it's all about. All right, the last one we're going to talk about today is the Living Tribunal. So Living Tribunal is a 6 energy, 4 power card. His ongoing, you split your total power evenly among all locations. So it doesn't matter if you have 40 power one location, 0 power in the other, and then 10 power in the middle. It takes that 50 and splits it evenly across the board. That is pretty cool. I think that, once again, changes the game in a very exciting way, because you're going to want to build a deck that you might want to build, I don't know, an Iron Man plus a Mystique all in one location, and put an armor and like a Cosmo. I'm making stuff up here, but like you can focus all your energy in one location, make it so strong and unstoppable, and then put Tribunal somewhere else and split that energy all across the board. I don't know about you guys, but I tried doing this Yellow Jacket combo. You probably have seen it before, where you go Wong, Mystique, Shuri, and then you go Odin and Yellow Jacket somewhere else. And what that does is basically you Wong Mystique will double multiple times, Shuri's double the power, and then Odin, which makes that happen all over again into a Yellow Jacket. And that Yellow Jacket ends up getting about 130,000 points. Really cool, but I always lose because I just got 130,000 points in one location, and the rest is useless. So that could make, with the Living Tribunal, things like that. That's by the way, terrible idea. Don't use this to climb. The Yellow Jacket sucks ass. But I'm just saying in general, having the Yellow Jacket idea where you make a massive number in one location and then you surprise them with a Living Tribunal to split it all up is going to be very exciting. That's what I'm trying to say. So another card similarly to High Evolutionary, probably not as big of a jump, but similarly there, gonna change the game enough that I think it's gonna make it fresh and exciting. And this is probably another one of those Series 5 big bad that's gonna stay in the game. And this is the last card coming out that we know of in the schedule on May 30th. So we still don't know anything about June. If I had to take a guess about June, we're probably gonna get stuff related to the Spider-Man movie, the Across the Spider-Verse. So that's my guess, but what do I know? But those are all the cards. So as I said at the start, I'm not here to tell you guys which ones you should spend your tokens on, because that's up to you to decide. You've looked at all these characters, you got information, I gave you a bit of a general idea. Which cards are you interested in? Because for me, March is Kitty Pryde, April is going to be Jeff, because it's Jeff, and then May is probably going to be High Evolutionary and maybe Howard the Duck. Those are the ones I'm excited about, but I wouldn't be shocked if you guys are excited about Iron Lad or Nebula or Stegron. There's a lot of really exciting cards there. Even Snowguard could be exciting for a couple people. Living Tribunal. So let me know which card you're looking to get. Are you going to save up your tokens for them? Or actually, are you guys planning on using your tokens as quickly as possible to get Thanos or Galactus or even Kang? Because those are also still there. And if none of these cards interest you, what kind of card would you like to see come out into Series 5? Do you want some movement-based cards? Do you want more control cards? Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments. So tell me everything. I'll reply to as many as I can, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, everybody. That's the end of another video. As always, give this video a thumbs up if you liked having conversations like this and you'd like to see more. Make sure to subscribe. Have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.